Hello, everyone. Welcome. So, today I wanted to touch upon something which I have personally been facing since I got into this online business that I've been doing. So, one of the first things that I noticed is that there's so much automation available online. When you start to work online, that's the first thing you see that literally everything is automatable. Well, that was one of the highlights of the reasons that I did join as well. What I did come to realize over time is that your mental outlook to how you react to things which are offered to you, either by algorithms, either by artificial intelligence, or by other people that you're working with, has a lot to do with what's your origin in terms of work, in terms of your mental outlook towards work. Like, for example, if I am to break that down, like I come from the so called self employed uh, background because I'm an artist, I'm a musician. So, my skill, my proficiency itself is the so called job. So, you, by being yourself, are attracting clients and are attracting record labels who want to sign you and want your musical services for them. So, in this background, like a lot of people actually fall under this, like even for example, like even doctors or like, anybody who's kind of a freelancer is kind of falling under this large segment, I would call it, of either you call it self employment, or I, for this specific video, I'm trying to call it as perfectionists, ones who are perfectionists, like artists, musicians, maybe architects, maybe, yeah, your dentist, or for example, like if you've got a brain surgeon, or yeah, lawyers as well. All of these people come under a certain bracket is that they are known for their proficiency in a certain field, and the world outside is generally hiring us to do a specific job very well. So we come from a mindset of being perfectionists, of being of hating the idea of doing mistakes or having to try it out and then figure it out. We I know I'm generalizing to a large extent, but this has kind of been my observation and my hurdle as well. Like, as I've joined the online business and the online space, I'm kind of seeing that it's not so much a physical hurdle, it's more like a mental hurdle. So, I just wanted to address this actually today. So, what do I mean by this perfectionist outlook? The thing is, like, if if you're coming from a background as I am describing, what happens is that you get appreciated, acknowledged, paid, and rewarded for the meticulous level of detail and professional uh, touch that you add to anything that you deliver. Now, when you're kind of brought up in that mindset, when you're kind of, going towards that, like I am always kind of going towards that, I really recognized myself as being in that category because I'm always trying to, you know, be the best musician that I can be, the most intricate self expression that I can get out of my music. And in this process, you're generally uh, surely going towards perfection. You hate making mistakes. Your like the general flow of work or the general flow of thought itself is that self-expression itself is, I would say, your business, and perfectionism is like the product that you kind of deliver, and the self-expressed product that you are delivering for the client or whoever you're working with, you are trying to share the best that you can internally going outwards. That is you working on your either your yeah, your music, your art, your drawings, whatever you are doing, you're trying to get out the best internally onto that product and then provide it outside. to the clients or the people who are hiring you for that service, right? Probably it could be the same with the dentist as well. I mean, I visited one like some time back, and the kind of meticulous detail that she was working on in my teeth, I could really resonate that she's out there to give the best that she can possibly, give. There's no trial and error out there. You're dealing with somebody else's teeth, right? It's really not possible. And so I could really resonate with the approach, and I really could see that I could see a certain pattern. I could see a certain category developing, that this is a perfectionist category, people who hate making mistakes, who want to give the best. Now, what happens is that coming in from this background onto an online business space, which you are working on things like Facebook and Instagram, etc., whatever platform that you choose to work on, like me and my community are primarily Facebook based. So what's kind of happening is that you're working with the Facebook algorithm. You're working with that algorithm, and you're working with this algorithm. The thing is that your material being propagated to the right people has to go through a certain system, has to go through a certain chain of events, and it's not so much about whether your content is appealing or not. Yes, it has to be appealing, right? Your content has to be appealing. It's not, yeah, but a large part of it has to do with like, is it SEO optimizable, like system engine optimizable? Is it searchable? Is it what are the keywords you're using? What is it, the way you're phrasing it? Everything has an impact on it. And while there's a lot of material on that within our training platforms as well about how you figure these things out, it's a lot of that has to do with trial and error as well. A lot of it is very trial and error oriented, is that you try it out and then you try out a new way of arranging the same material. It's literally the same video. Like, it could be that you shot a video, you put it out like once under a certain title, under a certain optimization, and the next time you put it with a different image or a cover photo or a different optimization, and the results are very different. Like, the reach is more promising than the first one. So what's kind of happening in this process is it's so trial and error based that I am really feeling my soul quenching, because it is not at all used to working like this. I am so used to only putting out things outside into the so-called real world once I am completely satisfied with it, once I have seen that it is the best that it could be, or the best that it is possible to be at this current period of time. But when, because I mean, I'm a musician, I'm in a space where that is what I'm appreciated for and expected as well, that I deliver that kind of stuff. But here we're working outside in, is what I'm realizing. Now, what does outside in mean? If you fall in on any of these categories that I just described in the first, then working online in such a space with something like a high ticket offer, you'd have to start to learn to work outside in. Now, what does that mean? It means that a different kind of skill set is being developed. Now, we are primarily uh, navigating our content, or the content could literally be the same. It's just that you are navigating the delivery of your content in a way that is sufficeable for the algorithm, is sufficeable in the in yeah, it's just about the delivery. It's the way it's being delivered becomes extremely vital, and you're kind of working from that backwards in towards your self-expression. So, like, the number one change which I really see is that when you're in this online space, when you're propagating high ticket sales and stuff, you are working at it like you're in the service industry, firstly. So it's a different space. It's a space where I have not been before. So I am learning these kind of patterns, is that the algorithm is the first thing that comes. Then when the algorithm has been dealt with properly, you're able to reach the people that you are looking to reach. And then you're able to generate the responses and shape your material and navigate your material according to the responses that you're getting. Now, this is something that I usually despise. If it's do with my music, I do not follow this process at all. I follow the exact opposite of it, that my self expression is king, and that's exactly where it remains, whether you like it or not. That's the attitude that I use, and I'm sure a lot of people resonate with that. Whoever fall under the sector that I mentioned do surely resonate with that, because that's how you can be, striving towards being the best that you can be. And while in this, as I said, in this system, to make full use of what we have in hand. Because remember, you are speaking from a certain part of the world and you are connecting with everybody else on all over the planet. Now, in order for you to be able to connect with them, you need to tap into systems which go directly and reach them where you are being shown in front of what they are generally searching. So it's not so much about you being the best at what you do. It's more about trying to figure out how are you going to get into this system, into this beautiful global system that we have with the internet. How are you going to get into that system, be able to establish communication links, chains, and ways of reaching people which makes sense to you, which makes sense to the system you're building with reaching all of these people, which makes sense to the kind of email list that you're building to reach all of these people and nurture them with more content that you're coming out with, or speak to them about what you are doing, etc. In order to for all of these things to work, you're working on a very, very, very trial and error basis, because the premise, the basic standpoint, the very start of it is outside of you. It starts from the algorithm, because the algorithm is the way you're reaching all these people on different parts of the earth. So when you're working from algorithm towards self-expression, the process is a little bit different. It's a little bit more trial and error. You have to let go of the idea of being a perfectionist, and uh, I'm having to bite my teeth as I'm speaking about it, because it's not something I enjoy very much. But I realize this is the way uh, that I'm entering into a very different category now. This is about developing business systems. Now, I do see a lot of future for this, because I do see that if I or any of you within such categories are able to master these systems well, are able to understand how and where the reaches actually happen of your material, and how and where do they actually reach the right people, without just having to pay for ads or whatever that is. If you can figure out a way in which this happens organically, you'll be way more you'll be way more optimized to use your ad money as well, even if that's your scene. But what I do see is that the ability to build this system is giving me uh the ability at some point of time to kind of remove myself from the equation itself. Because if a system is built, you, the builder of the system, can remove him or herself from that system. That is the point of building the system. Now, beyond just this business that I'm a part of, this high ticket sales thing, beyond just that, I see this as a great avenue for music in the next whatever 5-10 years, so to speak, or even 2 to 5 years, you can say. Because with the development of AI, a lot of things can get done based on a system that you lay down. As long as you are the one mastering it, as long as you are the one who set up the system and are the sole person who's controlling it at the very heart of it, I think the way that people are going to consume music is going to change drastically. The way that people are going to consume your services is going to change drastically. The way that you make music itself is going to change drastically. Because with all of these systems in place, the way you work on tracks is going to be much different. The composing and arranging part is what you're kind of primarily looking at, while a lot of other stuff can be outsourced in a way that the system takes care of it. There is a very well knit uh, thing going on in the making, and I'm really discovering that with my music as well. I've been investigating ways of doing that in the coming future because I see great potential in it. So just wanted to do this live, especially for those of you who are a lot like me, are perfectionists or come from that background, to just know that this is a very different ball game. This is a trial and error ball game where you'll be making a lot of mistakes. I know it feels terrible, but it is that way, that you're going to be making a lot of mistakes, but you're going to be learning as you're making them. So it's a little bit of a different approach. You've got to do it because that's the way it is. But know that mastering the system is going to take you to the extreme, like the very next level, very soon in a few years, because that's where technology, AI, general propagation of consumption of art, of music, of your services is going. So it's exciting times. It's requires different skills than what you're probably used to, but as I mentioned, it's exciting times. So yeah, let's let's go ahead and learn what we have to learn. Yeah, so if you're watching this inside AGA, that's the group that I'm a part of, the high ticket sales collective, if you may will, then yeah, please reach out to the person who got you here, and we have all the trainings that you need to be able to do all these things. There are people who've come in and done really well, and they've come in on the back of not even knowing how to upload a photo onto Facebook. It's a primitive, the entry level is, and they've gone on to do really well out here in this space. So it's a new skill, it's a different skill to learn, but it's going to be the future of where our constellation's heading. So yeah, you can, if you join us, you'll have all of that material available at your fingertips for free. And on that note, I would like to end this live. That's about it. I will see you on the other side, my dear perfectionists, for today. Bye.